There you go. Oh shoot, look where I'm going. Uniform and normal distribution. And then I did that. Now I gotta do savings. I just wanted you to know that Bill Clinton had a speech today that says that if you are a Trump supporter, you're a redneck. So now Hillary says that we're deplorable, and Bill says that we're rednecks. But they're forthcoming people. Kind of reminds me of snobs. Because the last time I was called a redneck was when I was at West Side, and the Hannah people called players on the football team. They said that we were a bunch of blanks and a bunch of rednecks. When I was on the football team, I was on the football team 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. And all those years, every time we'd get ready for the Hannah game, there'd be somebody talking trash, calling us a bunch of blanks and a bunch of rednecks. West Side. All you have to do, if you're from around here, you know what the West Side blank was. There's two people that go to, that's what they were saying, which you figure it out now. If you go to West Side, there's only two people that go to West Side. So that's the last time I was called a redneck, when I was in high school. The reason I said that was because, as far as I've always been concerned, the snooty people are the ones that do the most labeling. You ever notice that? So I guess Hillary and they're helping us out. Let's call them folks. They call us snooty at the same time. Finished? Okay. So there's three parts. Solve it. Now, what kind of circle we dealing with? Closed circle. Good. You're smart. Mm-hmm. I went over that the last class. What? You are a loser. And we know what that means. You're going to live in a ditch. All right, so here we go. Don't worry, I already had one student get mad at me today because I talked about politics too much. I'm sorry, it's an election year. What do I teach? Okay, so I can't talk about election year, talking about polls, but a psychology teacher can talk about any damn thing they want to. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't like talking about politics. So get the hell out. That's why Washington, D.C. does what they do to us now, because we don't care. We don't want to talk about politics. That's why they get to do whatever the hell they want to in Washington, D.C., because America lets them. Am I not right? Get out of the white man. 9x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 87. I'm going to run for president. 87. Hubert for president. I can't even get the damn pen to work. The pen is about to run out of batteries. Because that one's already dead. And I'm really not going to call down to the front desk and say, bring some batteries up, and then they'll say what size, and then I'll say AAA, and then they'll say, oh, I didn't see we've got some. And then by the time I get off, by the time they come up, by the time I change them out, it'll be time to go home. So, no, it'll cause major chaos. I'll go to Walmart and I'll get some and I'll bring back movie. You ever heard of the old saying, an act of Congress? So, what's that number? 87. Now you solve it just like you would any problem. Minus 6, minus 6. 9x is greater than or equal to 87 minus 6 is dang old 81. And x is greater than or equal to what? So we got to put a BA dot on 9. So I'm going to pick this one. Okay? The reason I picked that one is because this one has an open circle. That one has an open circle, so I'm not going to pick those. And I just said solid. And this one has a solid circle, but it's going the wrong way. Because what numbers? Were you here at last class? Say one more time. Okay.
I watched the video, but you didn't really come.
I think I just loaded it. I don't know what I loaded this one on. I'm missing it. All right, what does this say? This says that our solution set. What is that talking? I keep hearing them talking. I don't know who it is. But stop. Or I'm going to throw your butt out too. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Was that you?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, x is greater than or equal to what? 9. So all my numbers are greater than or equal to 9. So still out this side. This side. And what is this arrowhead called? This arrowhead is called negative infinity. This one is called positive infinity. So set builder notation tells us to write x such that blank, and then put your answer there. So x is greater than or equal to 9. Interval notation reads from left to right. So read your number from left, read your set from left to right. What does it say? 9 to what? I'm sorry, I heard no movement.
9 to positive.
There you go. And what always goes on infinity? Press plus can't touch it.
1.
Yeah. And what always goes on a number you can include? The number you can include tells us that it's a closed circle, and it's also what? Yeah. So there's your two answers. However they want it, they'll tell you how they want it. Or they'll just ask you to click on it. Next. All right, try that one. I hate this question because they messed it up. They take a good question and they mess it up. But go ahead and do it, and I'll show you how to not be confused. I wish I could get rid of this thing. There. Write the question down, and I want you to write the directions down too, because you need to highlight this word, integer. Because integer is not fractions, decimals, percents, and whole numbers. What is it? What is integers? Good. Integers are whole numbers. Integers are whole numbers. So that means you got to, instead of using the highlighter, you've got to use dots. It is algebra. And y'all also have to realize that this is the fourth class I've taught this morning, and I had a Pop-Tart this morning, and that's all about it. So I'm ready for Zach to be executive. I'm ready for a Mexican restaurant, but I better not do that. Refreshments. They have those little clear little glasses that they bring to you and put that clear liquid in, just like water. I know. And I drink too much of them and start singing with them when they sing happy birthday to people. And that's what we ought to do the last day of class, is go to the old railroads. Oh God, I don't hear from that. Hubert forced us to go eat lunch with him. I don't know what that is. I've tried to comment on something to a video. I just got one question for you. Hillary talks about calling people names. Donald Trump calls women names. Donald Trump calls these people names. Her and Bill turn around and call people that support Trump deplorable and rednecks. My question is this: what's the difference? There is no difference. So don't say one is worse than the other. That's like saying, oh well, if you steal a candy bar in grocery store when you're a 5-year-old kid, that's not as bad as if you steal money from the government. Stealing is stealing. Did y'all see the man get tased running across the interstate? Oh, that was funny. I showed y'all the man on the lawnmower getting tased, didn't I? Okay, well this guy got tased going across the interstate. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Just so somebody can get me in more trouble. let's see, what was it? Man, take, I don't know why they tased him. I mean, he just stole a car. He took him on a high-speed chase. Then he got out and ran away from the law enforcement officer. I don't know why they tased him. Okay, I got to go to Google because it's not on Facebook. It is, but I don't know what it's called. I can't do that. Okay, Google. Google. Thank you. Based interstate. Oh, it was on YouTube. Now it's on NBC DFW. Can I hit the back button? There it is. YouTube. There ain't a bunch of talking going on. I'm gonna get away from these guys. Oh! There was a policeman down here, probably directing. They didn't show the whole thing, but the whole thing was he stole a truck, stole somebody's truck. He took him on a 10 or 12 mile chase, and then he ran out across the interstate. Dang, oh, what was he carrying? Look at all that fell out when he was, had all kind of stuff falling out, stuff rolling out. What was that, a coffee container, or what was that? Look there. I could understand if this was a phone, but what was he carrying? I still like the man on the lawnmower better. Okay, let's get back to the test. If I can find it. Where's my test? Really? Here it is. Okay, so this one, you can't use these two. So mark these two out because of this. Integer means whole numbers. Integer means whole numbers. So you cannot use these because what's between 9 and 8? 9.5. That's a fraction. Okay, so you can't use decimals. You have to use these guys. That's why I say they take a good problem. This problem is a good problem, but they screw it up by putting integers because nobody ever does integers. So anyway, 6x plus 30 distributed to 6. No sneezing, please. Minus 18 is less than or equal to 4x plus 2. 6x plus what? 12? Which one's the bigger, which one's the smallest bucket? 4x, so it comes over. Plus 12 is less than or equal to 2.
It's 2.
Yep. And then the negative 12 comes over. So 2x is less than or equal to minus 10, for those that are listening, divided by 2. X is less than or equal to negative what? 5. So you take your handy dandy, take the handy dandy big A dot maker And you do numbers that are what? Less than 5. So that would be less than -5. So that'd be this one, like that. And then to say to keep on going, put 3 dots right there, or you say to infinity. Yeah.
Before you move on, let me talk about
No.
it. I didn't see everything.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how you read it. I could rewrite this and say -5 is greater than or less than x. Or I can say x is less than or equal to -5. Just all however you read it. The little n points toward the lesser number. Depends on how you write it. I mean, it doesn't depend on how you write it. Depends on which end it's pointing to. So we put a dot in that one. And move on. Bonus question. Yes. Bonus question online. Okay, this is the one that I want you to do. This is the question I thought the other one was when I picked it. This is where you shade in with a highlighter. Somebody tell me which one it isn't. It's not this one. And it's not this one. Why? Huh? Exactly. And it's not this one. Oh, I'm sorry. That one it could be. I'm sorry. This one. Yeah, closer. Why isn't this one? This one is all real numbers. And for it to be all real numbers, it would have to say the same thing on both sides. Like 4x is equal to 4x, 2 is equal to 2, or 4 times 2. This is 8x minus 8 is less than 8x minus 10. That's not the same. So for it to be all real numbers, it has to say the same on both sides. Like 3 is equal to 3, or 3x is equal to 3x. If it says something true, then it's what? All real numbers, and that's what this is. All real numbers means all numbers, but it's not that. So, and what's over here? No solution. No solution is a 0 with a mark through it. That means that you come out with something that doesn't make sense. Like 4 is equal to 8. This one might come out that way. I think it might. So it might not be. It might be this one. And then these two are open circles, which means this guy right here is open. So I can pretty much guarantee you that these are not it. So let's look and see what we get. Okay. All right, so 4 will be 8x minus 8 is less than 8x minus what? Minus 10. Less than. All right, what happens to the 8x's? And you've got -8 is less than -10. Now, before you blurt out whether it is true or not, look at it and tell me if it's true that -8 is less than 10. Okay, now you can answer. Is it? No, it's not. -8 is what? More than 10. And if you don't believe me, what would you rather have in your bank account? -$1,000 or -$800? Then which one's better? -8. So it's bigger. So this is not what? Not true means no solution. So I'm going to write that down for everybody. If you get something that's true, that means all real numbers. What's true? 3 is equal to 3, 4x is equal to 4x, 4x minus 1 is equal to 4x minus 1, y is equal to y, 3 is equal to 3. All those are true statements. Or you're going to get an untrue statement. An untrue statement is what? No solution. Now, this is only 10% of the time. Write that down. When you see one of these, you're only talking about 10% of the questions that you get. What's the other 10%? What's the other 90%? The other 90% is going to be x is equal to what? A number. Or less than or equal to whatever. All these things. Okay? So, you're going to get something that's not true, then if you get something that's true, what if I got 3 is greater than -1? Is that a true statement? Then your answer would be all real numbers. Or I get x is greater than or equal to 4. Then that one you just graph. These two you don't have to graph because really one graph is everything and the other graph is what? Nothing. So 90% of the time you're going to get a number. 10% of the time you'll get one that says something weird like 5 is equal to 5 or x is equal to 2 or x is equal to y. And that's not true. X cannot equal y. Okay? It could, but we're not going there. So we're going to pick B. Next. All right, check that one out. Ernie Rolfe deposits $5,200 at 10% for 1 year. How much interest will he earn? What is the account balance at the end of the year? Now, I may not, they're supposed to give you a formula for this. They don't give you a formula, so I'll just give it to you. Wait a minute. It's just simple interest. Okay. So just this is Walmart equation. X plus or minus percentage X is equal to total. So you get 5,200. And what is interest? Added or subtracted? Plus 10% of 5,200. You really don't have to use the calculator because that's 10% would be $520. So 520 would be 720, which would be 5720. Y'all check my math. Use your calculator. Check it, make sure. So the balance is 5720. How much interest did he earn? Where that question came from? I think it came from the formula question, but they should give you a formula. That's kind of, I don't like that question. When does the homework terminate? It should terminate midnight, but I need to change that. I'm going to change it to when I set up the test. Does Hubert replace your lowest grade with the final exam? Okay. I actually had somebody this morning in my 8 o'clock class ask me if I replaced the final with the, or do I replace the final grade with the lowest test grade? Did I answer them? Nope. They asked it twice, and finally one of the guys at the firm said, he's not going to answer you. Ooh. And then he told him why. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points? That's because I don't like y'all. Take several forms. How is my test counted? Takes the higher. All right, there you go. Write the variation and find the quantity indicated. Z varies jointly as W and Y. Or if you're from around here, that's W. D-U-B-Y-A. If you're not from around here, it's W. You ever seen that on TV? They won't say W. They'll say, look us up on our online, www. Those are also the same people that call Clemson Clemson. Huh? Clemson. They do that so they won't sound like ignorant rednecks. If you say Clemson, you put a P in it. I know. That's why we're dumb, racist Southerners. They don't want to be associated with us, so they say Clemson. Just like other people, you ever notice if you're from Belton, you know, Belton don't have a T in it. B-E-L-L-O-N, Belton. My mama's people are from Belton. You can tell somebody's transplanted into Belton. You know how? Where are you from? I'm from Belton. I'm from Belton. I'm from Pendleton.
I say Greenville.
Greenville has a U in it.
Greenville.
Greenville. Like bull, Greenville. But if you're not from around here, you say Pendleton. It's like a robotic response. I'm from Pendleton. There's a creek near my house that runs through our farm. It's a big creek. It's not even a creek anymore. Well, it's a creek in dry weather during drought. But during the regular winter seasons and rainy seasons, it's like a river. And it's called Genesee Creek. And some of y'all may be familiar with Genesee Creek because it runs all the way into pretty much the Savannah River. And it runs in down there at Genesee Creek Baptist Church, the Genesee Baptist Church, down there. Casey Berry and me, I know the Marine people down there. And make a long story short, it's spelled, I want you to see how it's spelled. G-E-N-E-R-O-S-T-E-E. And you really have to look at it to say it. It's generosity. Everybody get that? Generosity. It means small pines. Small pine trees. And of course, people that are not from around here, generosity. Now, how do you get generosity out of that? I can't see it. I can see generosity, but I can't see generosity. But I'm weird. But that's how you can tell. And people from around here, they don't call it generosity. They don't say generosity. They don't say generosity. They say generosity. Gen-us-T. That's what they say. So if you come by my house and this is a big creek, and you say generosity, that's just putting a sign around your neck that says you ain't from around here. Any of y'all ever heard of generosity? I'm sorry, generosity. I'm from Pendleton, Powdersville. Powdersville. You just gotta hear some of these people the way they talk. It's like I want to make sure I'm not considered one of these people, so I go out of my way to say clowns on. Z is equal to KW. Why? Now, why did I not change the K? because it never changes, Hubert. Thank you, class. Z is equal to 975. W is equal to 13. And BAY is equal to 15. So, if I'm given those numbers, what am I going to find? Good job. You listened that day, didn't you? So K, all right, calculator drill team, do your thing. I'm sorry, what? Enunciate and volume. 5. Now, what am I going to do with that 5? Just sit there and circle it, or what? Plug it back into the original equation, because they're asking the variation is Z equals 5 W Y. Now, I don't know what they're asking for. That first part right here, they may be asking for this or this. We're fixing to find out. The quantity indicated is Z is equal to, now it also says, here's your more information. Remember me telling you in class, this is more what? More info. So now that we've got K, what do? Huh? I heard. Plug it in. That's good. You enunciated good that time. Then I can hear you. Like when people leave voicemails on my voice mode. Now, 40 times 9, that's 360. 360 is 1960. Somebody help me out. No, 5 times 40 times 90. What do you get? Oh, it's 18. Hold on. Yeah, 5 times 40 is 200. Duh. I messed that one up. Well, at least I tried to make change instead of standing there like a DA going, what is this 6 in for? I'm trying, if you'll give me a chance. Golly, you're in life mode today. Let's see, Z. I'm thinking they're going to ask for this part. Z is equal to KWY. I have no idea what they're asking for. Z is equal. Anybody know from the homework? Okay. And then this one, they're saying 1800. I will be lenient on that because on this first one, because I think that's stupid. I think they should ask, either ask for both of these or don't ask for either one of them. Because you could actually say that this is the variation. See what I'm saying? I don't like that part. I like this part, but I don't like that way they got that there. Okay, read the directions, Hubert. Type K for the variation constant. So that eliminates what? This one. I didn't read the directions. But I got an excuse. What is it? I'm a man. We don't read directions. When is the last day of class for the semester? I got to fix that. After the test, I got to fix that. It would be April 26th. All right, y'all do this one. Hurry up. We only got 12 more to go. I didn't show y'all my funny video today. I thought it was funny when I saw it. Y'all ready? We'll watch it again. Because y'all didn't see it. I didn't see it the first time. Now, what I want to know is what the heck did he put under his seat to blow it up like that? That's funny. Oh well. No comment. Okay. First of all, I'm not going to deal with the negative 2x. What am I going to do with that negative 2x? I'm going to put it on the other side. Why did I do that? Because you always want to try to keep the variable what? Positive, so you don't have to worry about the other two laws in case you have a negative coefficient, which I don't cover, which I don't go over because that causes more confusion. Add 16. So 2x is less than 8. X is less than what? 4. Now, the biggest problem here is what? Integer. So we can take this one out and take this one out. Why? Because it's wanting whole numbers. No, this one's wanting whole numbers. What is less than 4? Numbers to the right of it or numbers to the left of it? Left. So that's all. So it's good. Now the biggest problem I get here is students go, well, I didn't get that, I got a negative. Well, you didn't do what I told you and make variable positive, so you're on your own. See me after class and I'll tell you why. Keep the variable positive, it makes life easier, and you don't have to worry about 2 more rules. I don't believe in what do you call extra what? Work? No. Extra credit I don't either, but extra work. I don't believe in extra work. I got to change this one too. I thought I changed it. That's November 3rd to the 6th because it's the only possible answer. But I'm going to change that. Brings. All right, try that one. 6t minus 11 is equal to 3t minus 2. 6t minus 3t is what? 3t. And then negative 2 plus 11 is t is equal to 3. That's what I come up with. Y'all check me. Ooh, excuse me. What'd y'all get? 3. right, real numbers. Make sure you highlight real numbers. So that means what? Which one is it not? Well, what does this mean right here? Open circle, right? So it's not that one. It's not that one. Let's see if it looks like, what is 2 times 4? What is 2 times 2? What is 4 times 2? What is 4 times 2? 8. So it's not all real numbers because they're not the same. So it's one of these 3. So let's do it. 8x minus 8. Okay. 8x minus 4 is less than 8x minus 8. Negative 4 is less than negative 8. True or false? False. Negative 4 is greater than negative 8. What's better to have in the bank account? Negative $400 or negative $800? I'd much rather have this, so that one's more. So it's supposed to be this. So that's not true. So which one, is this true or untrue? So that means it's D. I gave you 2 easy problems. I should take those off. All right, plug and chug. This is a plug and chug. First thing I would do is write 39 over 1 when you plug it in. Make it a fraction so it's easier to see. And I still do this to this day because it's not beneath me to get confused. Nothing will cancel, so 9 times 39 is 351. Somebody help me out. I'm going to use my decimal division right here because I don't want to depend on the calculator. So 5 will go into 35 7 times. Won't go into 1, so that's a 70. But it'll go into 10 2 times plus 32. I get 102.2.
That's what I got too, but no, that's not.
Wow.
Insurance.
Because it'd be like 81.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Like I get what you're saying, but you're talking about a scientific equation. That's 102.2 is 41 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Well, I don't know. I'm not no dadgum physicist. I just do the math. You took a difficult pill today, didn't you? You must have extra white pills at home. All right, try this one. Oh gosh, I put one with all denominators on it, all common denominators. Really? This is not good. This is too easy. Multiply through by what? 7. Then you get what? 2x plus 6 is equal to what? -2. I can't believe I gave y'all this question. What? 2x is equal to negative 8, x is equal to what? I should take that one off. Y'all all supposed to be saying no at the same time. Tit on a bull. I actually said that to one class, and guess what? I offended somebody by saying tit on a bull. I grew up saying that, but I guess it's awful to say. Next, United States of Kansas. Solve for K. What's the first thing you do? Get rid of what? The fraction, Hubert. That's right, class. Get rid of the fraction. How you get rid of the fraction? Multiply by the denominator. 2. Or 2 over 1, yeah. And it'll blow up. I'm glad I taught y'all all this stuff. I'm glad you remembered it. When you have a fraction in a formula, the first thing you do is clear it by multiplying by either the reciprocal or the common denominator. And that's going to give us 2f is equal to kb. Now what are we solving for? So I got to get rid of multiplying by b. How do you get rid of multiplying by b? So k is equal to 2f over b. That's a little f. That makes a difference. 2f b. Okay. That one's hard. What do you do in this one? Evaluate. What does evaluate mean? What does evaluate mean? Thank you. One person, blow a job. So that means wherever there's an X, I'm going to what? Draw a big set of what? Parentheses. Minus parentheses. 5 times parentheses. So 5 times parentheses plus 2. And we're going to plug in a 6 here and a 6 here. What's 6 squared? Minus 30 plus 2 is 8. I'm going to take that one off. I hate that question. I hate that question with passion. The reason I hate it is because it's confusing to the student. 20, 60, 20. This one's easy. Why? All you're going to do is take the 6 across the river and it becomes -5, right? So, where is x greater than -5? Well, it's not these two. That's for sure. Why? Well, no, they're less than. Okay, x is greater than. Now, what goes with the greater than or equal to? Closed circle. So B is your answer. That one you don't even have to do the math. Just do it in your head. And finish that one. That's a good algebra problem to finish with. When you distribute that 9, what do you get? 9x what? 36. Distribute to 3, what do you get? What's 21 plus 15?
36.
Oh my goodness, 36. 9x plus 36 is equal to 9x plus what? Is that true? So what's your answer? All real numbers. That means if you plug a 1, you'll get the same answer. If you plug a 4, you get the same answer. So all real numbers is your answer. So we should be missing 1. So we didn't do 1 because we'll take it off. And I got to change your other stuff too. So what do we do after we do that? Submit test. I didn't put the answer where? Where?
That was the 2 you didn't get.
There's 1 I didn't do. Should be. You may be right. I thought I answered everything. You're right. I thought, which one did I not answer? I know I didn't answer 1. Okay, that's the one I don't like. What's the other? Oh, what was number 12? What was the question? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna fix both of those right now. So let's go in and fix that. And I want y'all to sit here and watch me fix it. Y'all got plenty of time. You got 9 minutes.